This is the Leaving Cert Higher Level for 2023. This is paper 2 and this is question 5. Okay, Rowan has a large number of small cubes. The cubes are identical in size. Some of the cubes are red, green, and blue. Rowan carries out an experiment in which he picks out 5 different cubes at random. He records the numbers of each color and replaces the cubes. Okay, that is important. He then repeats this process a number of times. So there's always, why I'm highlighting that is there's always the same amount of cubes in the wherever he's picking them out of in the experiment. Okay, so here are our results given to us here. Work out the mean and standard deviation of the number of red cubes per trial. Okay, so mean, in other words, the average, we have to add up the amount of them that there are divided by the amount of options, basically. So A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, he did it 7 times and he's labeled his trials as letters, so 7 times. So we're dividing by 7 and red cubes, so it's basically this line here we're adding up. So you can see they're represented there on the top line there as well. Add them all up, it's 17 divided by 7, which is approximately, it says to one decimal place, so I said approximately it was 2.4, I've that rounded. Okay, the standard deviation then is the second one. This is kind of a calculator function, and I got it to 1.59, which is approximately 1.6. Now, the nature, guys, of doing these through a screen recording is very difficult to actually show how you do this out. So it's just through this medium, it doesn't really work. So I have the answer written down there, and it's a function in your calculator, the standard deviation function. Okay, we'll move on. Part number 2, work out the correlation coefficient between the number of red cubes and the number of green cubes per trial for these 7 trials. Give your answer to 3 decimal places. Now, again, it's similar to the standard deviation. This is a function on your calculator. So again, through this medium, it's very difficult to describe how it's done. Because we'll all have different calculators, etc., etc. I have the full answer that I worked out there, and it says in the question to 3 decimal places, so you can obviously see 1, 2, 3, so I had to round that. So the next number after it is 0, so it gets rounded down to minus 0.762. Okay, part 3 of this question. Rowan repeats this experiment a large number of times. Explain why you would expect the correlation coefficient between the number of red cubes and the number of green cubes per trial to be negative. Well, from the previous answer, we worked out a negative answer. Okay, so as I've just described it here, if he adds more red cubes, then there will have to be less green cubes, and therefore the correlation coefficient will be negative. So the more of the red, the less of the green, because there's the same amount of them. Okay, part B of this question. So part B of this question, Rowan makes a solid cuboid of dimensions 5 times 3 times 4 using his small cubes. Each small cube has a side of length 1 unit. Some of the small cubes have 1 face, 2 faces, or 3 faces on the outside of the cuboid. So just draw our attention to the kind of shaded one here. So clearly this has, a face facing out this way, it has a face facing out this way, and it has one on the top as well. So there's 3 faces of that one shape facing out. If you look at the block right next door to it, there's one facing up and one facing out this way. But there's nothing going out this way because the grey block is blocking it. Other small cubes have no faces on the outside of the cuboid. They're obviously the ones in the middle. In the diagram below, the cubes are shown. Okay, fill out the table. Now, I'm going to color coordinate this as best I can. So what I've started off by saying there is the two faces, they are this kind of goldy brown one. They're the ones I've on the diagram already. Okay, so if we look along the top, so this one here, 1, 2, and 3. Now there's one going to be here, 4. We're not including any of the ones on the corners. 5, 6, 7, and this one here, 8. 9 and 10, 11, 12. There's going to be 2 more back here that we can't see. 13, 14, and these 2 here, 15, 16. Now we go on to the ground part again. 17, 18, 19. It's going to be 1 on this side, 20, 1 on this side, 21. And there's 3 on this side, then there's 3 on the back as well, 22, 23, 24. So that gives us our answer of 24 there. Okay, that's difficult now that you're relying on spatial awareness there, and some people will find that that they're good at some kind of visualizing that, and other people will find that kind of more complicated. I'll just jump to a kind of an orangey coloured pen now. The number of that have 3 faces on the outside of the cuboid. Okay, so there's this one here in the corner, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then there's the 4 at the bottom again, 5, 6, 7, and we can't see it, but at the back corner back there. So there's the 8 of those there. This was done 22, and I'll just grab the pink coloured pen then there. A number of small cubes with no faces on the outside. Okay, these are the ones in the middle. So we've got 3 across the way here. Now those 3, we're not counting them because they obviously haven't. So the ones underneath them that will be on this row, but on a row inside. So there's going to be 3 and 3 more of them, 6. No, I'm just marking them on these ones here. They are not these ones here. They are the ones in behind these, underneath these ones here. So there's 3 blocks wide, and as I said, they're behind these ones. So you can see going back the way there's 3 cubes. So again, we're talking about the ones in the middle row and 1 back. Okay. That's the end of this question here.